Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. Now, word to my brethren in the great city of Chicago, Illinois. Shout out to Chicago. Speaking of Chicago, we're talking about Chicago's very own, my main man, 50 grand, Adrian Granados. Finally. I've been waiting to make this video for literally a month because he let me know this about a month ago, but it wasn't finalized. I didn't want to make any videos about it, but finally. It was confirmed yesterday by Adrian Granados himself. Finally, a fight poster has been made. Okay, Adrian Granados returns to the ring June 16th. Frisco, what's it called? The Ford Center in Frisco, Texas. He'll be fighting for the first time since he lost to Sean Porter back in November. And it's his return to 140, so I'm glad. Me and Adrian have talked. Like, this is a great friend of mine. He's fighting Javier Fortuna. Very interesting fight. Very, very interesting fight. But to get back to Adrian, me and Adrian talk quite a bit, and I have a good sense for what's going on in his life and stuff. And he's been very focused. He's been training very hard. He was training so hard. He went in Jedi boxing training for like a month. He didn't talk to nobody. He went off the face of the earth. He wouldn't even pick up my phone calls. His phone was off. He was in Mexico, out training with Julio Cesar Chavez and all them boys over there. So, it's good to hear that he's back in the ring. I think it's a very interesting fight. Looking for Fortuna, a guy that was a very good lightweight. Probably one of my favorite lightweights, honestly. But, a very good lightweight. Fantastic fighter, awkward fighter. Coming off a very tough split decision loss to Robert Easter Jr., in which many people thought he should have won the fight. He's moved up to 140. He's taking on the challenge. So first of all, you got to applaud Javier Fortuna for taking on the challenge of fighting Adrian Granados at 140. A bigger man, a stronger man, at a weight class that's not his natural weight class. That is to be praised. He kind of has to, maybe at this point, because there's no other options. But on the flip side, it's also good to kind of see Adrian Granados, for once in his career, have some sort of advantages because for his entire career, he's always been the guy making the concessions. He's always been the guy who had to take the short end of the stick. So it's finally good to see that he's not that guy this time. And it's a fight that I would say, while it is a fun fight stylistically, it's a fight that I would say favors Adrian Granados. He's the bigger man. He's the stronger man. He's his natural weight. I would even say in terms of styles, like, if you look at the way Javier Fortuna tends to fight, like, he's a southpaw fighter. So, like, when I was watching him yesterday against Robert Easter Jr., he throws a lot of winging shots, and his shots aren't always sharp and precise. And the thing is, one of Adrian Granados' money punches is his right hand, his straight right hand. It was his money punch in the Broner fight. It was one of his better punches in the Porter fight. It was a great punch in the Miramon fight, and pretty much any fight in his career. It's always been a staple in his skill set, his straight right hand. And with the way Fortuna throws that straight right hand, if Granados can see the shot, if he can just see it, boom, and shoot the straight right hand, that could be his money punch again. And he's been telling me all this stuff about how he's been refining his style. And, I'm looking forward to seeing because he was in Mexico for roughly 6 months. So I'm looking forward to seeing what that time in Mexico did for Adrian, how he improved as a fighter. Because truth be told, he's a guy that at this moment in time, really, like, he can compete with the top welterweights, but he can't probably win a title up there. At least not right now, okay? At 140, he's a much better fighter at 140. Just because he's stronger at the weight, okay? At 140, it's not out the realm of possibility. Even with all these great 140-pound fighters, these young fighters coming up, Josh Taylors, Pro Grace, Jose Ramirez, guys like that, it's still not out the realm of possibility that Adrian Granados could one day snatch up a title at 140. So I think it's a great fight. It's a great way to and honestly, for the way both these guys, because both these guys are 3-2 in the last 5 fights. Fortuna 3-2 in his last 5 fights. Granados 3-2 in his last 5 fights. On paper, obviously, we talk about Granados. I thought he beat the day. I thought he should have beat Adrian Broner. I thought he should have got the nod. I had him winning 6 rounds to 4, 7-3, something like that. That was the worst. That was one of the worst gift decisions of 2017, in my personal opinion. Fortuna got probably in a lot of people's eyes robbed. I could see it. I thought just again, Robert Easter getting the benefit of the doubt. So these are both guys who have gotten the short end of the stick on the scorecards. but both guys have proven themselves in their weight classes at one point or another. Adrian Granados did beat Amir Imam. That was his last big win. Fortuna's last big win was against Omar Douglas, and I wouldn't even really consider that a big win because Omar Douglas really is not that big of a fighter. So he needs a big win for his career. He really does, because this is a guy I can remember 3 years ago with Fortuna. This is a guy 3 years ago where you could look at the lightweight division and say, man, that guy right there has a chance to be the best fighter in the weight class, and then unexpectedly he loses to Jason Sosa. So, he has to get back on track. Granados has to get back on track. And for Granados, we'll kind of get back to Granados, Granados is still a fighter where you would say, like, okay, he's how old is Fortuna? Fortuna's 28. So these both we got are relatively young. But more so for Granados, right? Like, Granados is 28 years old. He'll be 29 in August, okay? Oh, wow, I just realized his birthday is 6 days before my girl's birthday. That's crazy. Okay, anyway. He'll be 29 later on. So there's still a couple prime years there for Adrian to really maximize what he can do in the sport. He got the short end of the stick many times in his career. He's come back strong, and he's made a name for himself in the sport. And he's someone that anytime this man steps into the ring, if you get a halfway, in terms of styles, if you get a halfway decent opponent in front of him, anytime this man steps in the ring, you got a chance for a fight of the year type of fight. And when you have a fighter like that, he's always going to get opportunities to shine because he's TV friendly. But you also got to win the fights. And, if he can win the big fights, right? If he can win the big fights moving forward, I think, and I've always thought this, because he's had the personality, he's got the style. He's got, he's Mexican, so he's got he's a Mexican fighter. I always thought Adrian Granados could be someone that if you're a promoter, you should look after a guy like that. You should, try to promote him because he can make you some money. He's a Mexican fighter with a TV-friendly style who has good personality. That's going to make you money. That you can't go wrong with that. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll definitely see what happens. But I think it's a good way. It's on the Errol Spence-Carlos Ocampo undercard. So great fight to add to a solid card. And it's interesting, man. Like, 'cause I used to live in Dallas, and that's where Adrian Granados is fighting now at the Ford Center, where the Cowboys practice. I remember when I lived in Dallas, they were just building that. So it's funny that someone I know is not fighting somewhere I used to drive by every single day when I lived in Texas. So we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. But very, very interesting fight. As much as I like Adrian, as much as I am his friend, if I'm being real, it's not a fight that I think he can't lose. He could obviously lose the fight. Fortuna is very awkward, and he can get a little dirty in there. I do think his style plays into Adrian's, but Fortuna's still a dangerous fighter. We'll see if Fortuna's punching power can hold off Adrian. It's just a good fight. It's two guys that come forward, that come to fight, they come to win, and you're not going to be cheated when those two fight. So that's what it is. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Adrian Granados, Javier Fortuna, Errol Spence Jr., Carlos Ocampo undercard, Frisco, Texas. Let me know what you guys think of who you think wins in the comments. And take time to subscribe, do all that good stuff. And like I say in every video, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.